My job as the chief of police is to make sure that we find out what happened.
That question is finally answered more than 20 months later. Right now at 6, the anticipated final report into the deadly Astroworld Music Festival is out. Tonight, KPRC2 Investigates breaks down the timeline on that chaotic night.
630 days ago, a night of excitement quickly turned to panic, confusion, and devastation. These 10 people you see here on your screen were killed during Travis Scott's concert at the Astroworld Festival. They range in age from 27 to just 9 years old. And tonight, we're getting a clearer picture of what happened back on November 5th, 2021.
KPRC2 Investigates uncovered a cascade of failures surrounding the Astroworld Festival. Today, the Houston Police Department confirming much of what our Investigates team uncovered in their reporting. Investigators Robert Arnold and Mario Diaz joining us now with some of the key moments from that report about that tragic night.
And Mario, we'll start with you. Who all was interviewed for this report?
Well, as Robert and I were just talking about, the report was 1,266 pages long, really thorough. And what you see there is a number of individuals from law enforcement, meaning HPD, all the way to attendees at the concert, as well as those who were in charge of putting it all together.
And Robert, you've had a chance to dig through this report. What's your biggest takeaway after going through these pages?
Just how much confusion there was. Okay, this is not the first time we've put on a large event. This is not even the first Astroworld Festival that we've put on. But it seemed like everybody was really caught off guard as to what they were supposed to do when things started going south. I mean, I read multiple reports from officers who were part of the special response group. So they're responsible for, ingress, egress, making sure that the large crowds, they kind of keep the peace. And they would get there and they'd go up to the security people and they'd be like, okay, what's the plan for this way? And they go, I don't know. And they go to the other person, well, I don't know. And then one officer point blank said, because I knew at that point things were going to go bad. Right. So it was like, this should have been worked out. And matter of fact, there's direct talk about how there was a discussion earlier in the day that, okay, if things go bad, we're going to shut it down. This is going to how we're going to shut it down. And then it was still utter chaos. It still took 33 minutes to shut that down because there was no direct lines of communication. And it's like, how was this not all worked out in advance?
Yeah. Mario, what was your takeaway?
I break it down to the big three for me. It was CCR, control, communication, as well as the response. They didn't have control. The communication that you talked about, they couldn't get in there very, very quickly. And the response. HPD had to actually rely on the strategy that they use with their SWAT teams, where they actually, on the SRG groups, they got 10 guys together. They said, I need 10 officers to get together because they couldn't hear. But in a small group, you scream, one guy can hear, the other guy can hear, then you repeat it over and over, and you move towards that, whatever the goal is in that. They had to implement that type of strategy to get to some of the injured.
Yeah, the term unbearably loud was used by the officers when they're trying to communicate critical information. Well, that shouldn't happen. They should have that direct line of communication, not just with each other, but with also the event organizers too.
Yeah, and let's go a little further here. I want to hear from both of you guys on this one. How much was revealed about concert operations, specifically involving those who were in charge with stopping the show?
That's where you saw a ton of confusion. So they talked about, okay, we want to start stopping the show. Okay, so we need to find this guy. So instead of just saying, hit the button, stop the show as we discussed, it's like, okay, we need to go find this guy. Well, then that guy, they had to go find him. Then they had to go find out, okay, who can talk to Travis Scott and is here? Oh, that's that guy over here. Okay, so then they got to go over there and talk to this guy. Did you tell that guy? Yeah, we told him that. Are you sure you told it? Yeah, we told him that. And then there's conflicting things about what Travis Scott was told. Now, as we've heard from Travis Scott's attorney, he was just told that, okay, after Drake completes his set, you need to wrap it up and be done with it. He was not told the severity. But then you get all these conflicting messages about what that message really was. And at one point, people are screaming, it's like, we told you to shut it down. Why is it not being shut down? Not to Travis, but to other people. So it's like, how is there not this instant, clear, straight line of communication?
And it was revealing for us to see this in this report again, that you can see right now on click2houston.com, because of the fact we heard this from an HPD commander who was there, who's no longer part of the department last year. He said, how do you lose the guy that you need to track down? And you can see it in these interviews and in these statements from the people involved in the concert, and HPD saying, we were trying to get to the right guy to shut the concert down.
Well, and then there was more talk about, like, it was like, okay, we got to that guy. That guy told us, okay, we got it, we've
And
done
it kept on
kept going. And then other people are like, wait a minute, it's not shut down. What do you mean it's not shut down? And then there's pushback about, okay, we're doing it, and it's like, well, we don't want to incite a riot. So there was all this discussion about if they shut it down too quickly, it would incite a riot. So there was no clear that's like, people are dying, stop now.
Right.
Yeah.
It's tough to wrap your mind around all that was
Right.
going on in that moment. But Robert, we know local, state, even federal leaders promised action in the wake of this tragedy. What's changed in the last 18, 19 months?
To me, the biggest thing, and I'm sure Mario has other takeaways too, but to me, the biggest thing is that line of communication. So now, when you have this large event out there, everybody's in one place in a unified command. So that's the event people, that's police, that's everybody. So everybody's talking to everybody, everybody can hear everybody, and they're all directly there. So if critical information has to be relayed, it's done instantly and clearly. That's to me the biggest thing that has been changed, that has to happen now for these large events.
Mario, throughout the course of this investigation, we've heard from our local leaders. Our
Right.
local leaders, did they have anything to say today?
Most importantly, I spoke with Chief Finner on the phone. He told me, listen, it's out. It's important for the families to see what took place here. He says the release of this report was unprecedented because we've never seen this type of report, the amount of it, all the details, not as many redactions as you would usually see being put out in this report. Spoke with Kim Ogg. She talked about the transparency as well. We did try to speak with Mayor Turner about this today. We reached out to his office. They knew that we wanted to get responses. We weren't the only ones. Mayor Turner still has not commented on this dramatic report.
Yeah. And finally, Robert, given that there were no indictments here, what's next? What kind of impact will this information in the report actually have?
Criminally, none. It's done. There were no indictments. The Houston Police Department Chief Finner was very direct, and that's it. Our investigation is over. It is closed. This is the final word on it. Now, I'm sure the civil attorneys, in the multitude of lawsuits that continue going forward, may find information in this report that could be helpful to them. But honestly, and you know many of these attorneys as well as I do, I'd be shocked if they didn't already have much of this.
Right.
So I don't really see, other than bringing a lot more clarity and a lot more detail of what transpired, that this having any other impact at this point.
And again, at the end of the day, you have to remember, these are kids.
Yeah.
These are
Yeah.
young teenagers. Nobody who's a parent would ever want their child to be in a situation like that. That's why what we have uncovered and what we've learned from everyone has been pivotal throughout the storytelling and through our reporting, because we are starting to see those changes.
One of the things they talk about too is the psychological impact that this continues to have on many of the people who survived. In particular, I remember one interview that I read with the young lady, Sienna McCarty. She's that one that we all saw, that famous image of her climbing that scaffolding and begging that camera operator to tell somebody people are dying and all that. And she gave a very detailed response about how just utterly devastated she was that no one was listening. Like at one point, she and Aiden Cruz, who we interviewed for our documentary, were screaming, shut it, tell them to shut it down. And then she said a security guard climbs up there, and she felt relief. Oh, good, somebody can do something. And then that person told her, get off or I'm going to yank you off.
Yeah.
And that was it. And she said, and she literally said, I just shut down at that point because I couldn't get anybody to listen.
Just a lot of failures. A lot of failures.
Yeah.
And the transparency, so important at the end of the day for the victims and their families.
And for law enforcement and for concert goers and the officials to realize, hey, let's not make what happened in Houston happen anywhere else again. Let's make it safer for everyone, including the children.
But that's Houston. That's Houston. There's also the broader issue of these large festival events and festival seating that hasn't really been addressed.
And we're going to see what happens.
Yep.
All right. Investigators Robert Arnold and Mario Diaz, great work, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.